Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses, and today we're going to do a comparison video between the Zontes G1 Scrambler and the GK125. So let's roll the intro and get cracking. Now, upon initial inspection, you could be forgiven for thinking, well, that's black and that's silver. It's the only difference I can see. But no, it's a lot more detailed than that. So some of these differences will be functional and some will be cosmetic. Now I'm going to start with the front wheel here. Now on the G1, you've got the standard front disc, like so. But on the GK, you've got this disc guard. It's a nice solid plastic, nice sturdy bit of kit. You could get it as an option on the G1, but it comes standard on the GK. Now, sticking with the front wheel for a second, you will notice a difference here, and I don't just mean the dust caps used. On the G1, you've got a standard tubeless spoked wheel, whereas on the GK, you've got tyre pressure monitors. Now, not only will you notice a slight difference in height, and we'll come on to that in a moment, you'll also notice a difference here. The cowling around the headlight unit is different, and there's a reason for that, and I'll come on to that in a second. However, looking at the front of this, you'll see a different design on the plastics here than you have got on here. You've got this little vent here, and then the plastics come round into this moulded piece here. This also does, but it's a slightly different shape. And then as we come around to the side, you'll notice a difference in the side panel here. You've got a flat, straight side panel on this one, and then on the GK, you've got these little indents in here. Just a little subtle difference between the two plastics on there. Now, disregarding colours of bars, colours of handlebars, colours of forks, you'll also notice a difference between the two tanks. Now, there's two reasons for that. So, first of all, this tank has the indent with this lovely alloy badge on there, and they've chosen to go with a sticker on this one. Shame, really, because I do like that badge. It's a lovely finish, but obviously got the indent in the tank to accommodate that. But the shape of the tank is slightly different, not necessarily at the front, but more so at the back. And the reason for that is because this one, being keyless, another feature I'll mention in a minute, this is the electronic fuel flap, and the seat comes up here, and I'll show you that in more detail in a second, whereas this one doesn't. So let's start with the seat from this angle. The seat, again, gel seat, but it molds nicely into the tank, whereas on the G1, it's the standard seat that goes round the bottom of the tank here. Looking at the tank itself, this one is the conventional key flap tank, whereas this one is the electric fuel filler release. Which brings me very neatly on to the dash and the handlebars and the switch gears. So, disregarding the colour of the bars, you've got the conventional LCD dash on here with the key, to go with the key on here, and your adjustment buttons on here, so you've got no fancy switch gears. However, on the GK125, you've got the fancy switch gears like they've got on the ZTU125, ZTU1 and the 310. So you've got your seat release down here, your fuel flap release here, and your set and your mode for the LCD dash on here. Now at this point, I just want to mention something with the exhaust. Now, we've noticed on both the G1 and the GK, the exhaust pipe itself sticks out further than it did on the original G1. And I'll show you what I mean here. Now, we think the reason for that is because when this was so far in, it would come up to about here, this would get sooted up really easily. So elongating that slightly by about an inch should mean that the gases come out here and don't gunk this up with soot like the other one does. Now, you will have noticed from the front angle that the GK looks lower, and it is, but by how much? Well, on tape paper, not as much as you'd think. Now, standing this upright, you've got a seat height here of 820. The GK, you've got a seat height of 805. So that's centimeters. So 15 centimeters difference in the height. Now the bars also look lower, and I'm going to measure, bearing in mind the angle of the bars, no, they are the same. I'm going to measure the bar to the floor, the edge of the bar to the floor, upright like so. You're looking at 106, whereas on the GK it's 106. So there's not actually any difference. It just looks different. However, when you sit on it, there is a difference. Now I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to put them side by side. I'll sit on them and I'll show you how it looks. When I said centimeters just then, I meant millimeters. Obviously not centimeters. 15 centimeters is like that. It's not that much difference. It's 15 millimeters. And if it's 850 centimeters, that's definitely too tall. Now I want you to observe as I get on the G1, my leg position and the bend in my knee. So there is a slight bend in my knee. I'm sat on the bike with my feet flat on the floor. Remember, I'm 5'10.5" with a 31.5" inside leg. Notice the slight bend in my knee. Now, when I get on the GK, that bend is more so, and I definitely feel lower. So I would say you'd even be comfortable at about 5'8", 5'9", and the suspension feels a little bit softer. I don't know if that's just a preload or what, but it's definitely more of a bend in my knee, and it definitely feels lower. So the G1 has the conventional dash like we saw before. You've got your rev counter along the top here, your miles per hour in the middle, your fuel gauge, and your battery that flashes up here. Oh, there you go, look, battery. And your clock and clock and temperature here, and your overall mileage down there with your adjustable buttons on here. However, the GK being keyless, like the others, you just turn it on using that, and you've got your digital display, your alarm, rev counter along the top, your temperature, your fuel, speedo down here. It's not touchscreen because obviously you've got all your mode, etc. on here. So yes, a nice little digital display thusly. Now, I'm not going to do a ride video of a comparison because they are the same. They ride the same, they feel the same. This one's a tiny bit lower, but other than that, they ride the same. And they're both, I think, the best 125 on the market at the moment, certainly in this style. And for the value of money, definitely the best. Of course, there are more expensive ones, and you've got your Yamaha and your Honda and all that lot. But these are superb bikes. I really do think they are fantastic. Price-wise, now the difference is that is £100 more. That's it. You get all that stuff for just £100 more. Bargain. It's a no-brainer. And if you want to know the prices, please pop on to our website, www.lsmoto.co.uk, down there, look, and have a look and see what the prices are. So if you want to buy one of these, please send us an email at info@lsmoto.co.uk, or a Facebook message. I'll have one of those. Send me a message if you want one. Say, I want a G1 or a GK. And there you go. This also comes in black or this silver and yellow, which is different because that's the only thing with this. It only came, and it still only comes in black, but the GK comes in 2 different colors. So there you go. If you have anything else to say, please leave it in the comment section below. Like I said, if you want one, send us an email, send us a message, and we'll sort one out for you. And that brings me to the end of this episode of Motors for the Masses. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll be back next time with something else. Don't know what, you'll find out then. So until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun. Bye-bye.